very, very, because you generally can't. Your 23rd player to bring across, he's got to play, and he could be anywhere now.
Interesting to see Matthew Pavlich starting in the middle, Jones alongside of him, Mick.
Yes, it's indeed. That won't last long, though, because their goal kicking has come from Pavlich, even though it's his first kick there. But they've got to kick goals, and he's the one that's been doing it regularly over the last few weeks.
So there is Matthew Pavlich with the first kick of the game. Mazungu gathers. Not his best effort, just wobbles one towards half forward. And there's Matthew Pavlich again. How did he do that? Here's Stephen Hill. Needs to finish these. It wasn't a great kick. He was in two minds whether to centre the ball or to have a shot, and as a result, Garland just mopping up a handball over the top to Trengove. Trengove is going to get that back from McDonald. He goes wide looking for Bale, and the ball over the line and will be thrown in. And
that's the difference between the top sides and a side like Melbourne at the moment, because when they broke, they had no one to kick the football to, and good sides will spread that quickly and give him a target. They had no targets whatsoever in those kicks.
Griffin, J. Mains up with Mundy, a little under Pearce, smothered. Chance for Mundy to go again, can't quite. Duffield, who started as sub last week, finds himself on top of a heap of players. Neither side have had wonderful records here in recent times. Fremantle lost 6 matches in a row before beating the Saints in round 4 this year by 13 points. Melbourne hasn't won here since 2007. Howe just knocks it forward. Chance for Duffield again. He'll get beaten to the ball. The ball goes wide to Jones, who's having a terrific year. Back to McKenzie. McDonald fumbles. Hill puts the pressure on. Trengove, the little one, back to McKenzie now to half forward. Long ball. A few demons get underneath it all. McPhee spoils the ball. Does well. Martin, quick kick at goal. Can they get the first of the afternoon? It's a bounce. The bounce. And the bounce. Barracks for the Demons. Well, it was a quick reflex kick forward by Stephen Martin, and the bounce was okay. The Demons, the first of the afternoon. That'll please that man on the screen, Mark Neal. The tough, long season. But for now, they lead the Dockers. The first score, and it comes off the boot of Stephen Martin.
Really great confidence builder there for Stephen Martin. One of those mature recruits, made his debut when he was 21, but that shows his agility. Really was at the contest, stayed at ground level. That's a fantastic finish.
Now young Tom Couch in at this centre bounce. The ball goes between his legs, and there he goes with a touch. He sockers it off the ground towards half forward. Robertson's done okay. Applied a good tackle on Petard. Ball spills loose and stays alive. Blease, a pacey customer. He got it to Petard. And then the long one down inside 50. Not the best of kicks that's over the line. Umpires today, Dalgleish, Wen and Jordan Bannister.
I've got some early matchups here, guys. Crowley's gone to Jones. He did a great job last week on Griffin. And McKenzie's gone to Hill. Hill was shut out of the game last week by Pickens, so he'll be looking to get his hands on the ball early.
So Tom Couch in and amongst the action early. Relishing starting in at the centre bounce, and I fancy we might have another bounce right here inside 50 for the Demons. They've started well.
They have, Basil. One of the things I've noticed at Melbourne, they're giving away those early hand passes and getting the ball forward with a kick, and I think it's very, very important to do that. Breaks up the opposition.
Griffin down to Hill. He released it somehow to Mundy. It spills to Ballantyne. Turns 25 on Monday, and that's a nice kick. Finds Kepler-Bradley inside the centre square. Now a long one down towards half forward. Broughton had it knocked away by Garland. The ball loose. Garland comes again. Up to McDonald. That's Joel. Got a little kick away. Robertson again. He's been busy for Fremantle since coming in a couple of weeks ago. The kick for Pavlich, spot on. And the Pav marks just inside 50.
This will test him, but he's been kicking so well. He kicked probably from 50 metres. It's a sort of player, very confidence player, Pavlich. I know when he goes through his career, he's going to say, well, I've been a very good player. I haven't played in finals. So this game is so essential for them to stay in the race for this year.
Mentioned at the top, AFL Life membership today. This is his 271st premiership match. He's played 25 pre-season games, 1 State of Origin and 3 international rules matches. Not enough on the kick. Bradley almost. Main then had it a long time, a full revolution. It comes back to Kepler, who is off target just to behind.
Yeah, lucky there, the D's. That long ball came in from Pavlich. It was just a stationary pack. If the Melbourne defenders are there to really get the ball across the line, they need to give themselves some room to really launch at the ball and spoil it through.
So Jack Grimes, first year in the role of captain. It's been a tough year to McDonald, who goes short to Sylvia.
patient ball use here, Mick. Like to use the boundary, the Demons?
Oh, they do like to use the boundary, and I think it's a safety thing first, is to make sure that the opposition need 2 kicks to actually score against your first kick.
To Howe, who's been so exciting to watch this year. Down the line he goes to Rivers, playing in a more forward role in recent weeks. Johnson does well and just paddles it over the boundary line. Just getting back to Tommy Couch. It's been a remarkable journey. We've heard of some good stories over the years, but he's been ringing coaches and trying to get involved. But from the Geelong Falcons to St Joseph's to the SANFL, Woodville West Torrens, Glenelg, Bell Park, then Collingwood, then the Casey Scorpions. He gets his taste today of AFL football for the oldest team in the land, and Bennell might just get the second for the D's. He does! They've started well, the Demons. So Stephen Martin from a long way out, and Jamie Bennell just ran into the open goal, and again, like we've seen so much this year, along the ground is this one's. So it's an 11-point lead to the D's, 5 into the first term. Brad Green, a welcome inclusion for the Demons.
Yes, and he keeps his eyes on the ball here. It's a, what do? Hand pass or kick it? He takes responsibility, kicks it through, and makes sure it goes head over head and goes through for a goal. Great goal, very, very important.
Griffin gets high this time, wins it down. No one waiting for him. It's taken by Nicholson. Fired a handball out the back. Sylvia got tangled up and eventually fired the handball to Jones, and that's a good kick out to Bennell, who marks forward of the wing, and the Demons starting in really good fashion. The short one is on, the kick is good, and the mark is taken by Bate, who swings straight away onto that left boot, down towards full forward. Green, second attempt, he might have marked that, he swings it around on the left boot. Doesn't matter about the mark, he's kicked Melbourne's 3rd goal. Well, a real confidence booster for the former skipper. An amazing story, fairest and best in 2010, captain in 2011, and this just his 7th game in 2012. I'm not sure about the mark. He didn't want to risk waiting for the umpire to pay it his way. Played on, goal, 3 straight to the D's.
Worrying sign here for Fremantle. Bate marks in amongst 3 Dockers. The ball comes in. Dockers well represented again in an outnumber, and Brad Green able to take the mark and snap the goal in amongst some Fremantle players. Ross Lyon wouldn't be happy with that.
So Green gets the goal. Jamar, another one of the 6-ins for the Demons doing the ruck work, but the Dockers here will go forward through Crowley. Quickly to half forward. Main's the target, gets front spot, over his head it goes. The Demons should have the numbers here. Ugly bounce for Frawley. Broughton just kicked it forward. Demons, they get hands onto it. They work it towards the boundary line. First man there, Walters. The only in for the Dockers this week, other than Spur, who was late, goes back inside. Barlow quickly over the top. Broughton, well done in the end. And the Demons, through Howe, bring it to the wing. Bate the target. Well, it's going to work out okay here, you'd think. You can go short or long to a one-on-one. That's the option in the end. Long ball, Rivers. Johnson did well. Paddled it down to McFarlane. He can hurt here on the rebound. Quickly to Griffin. Little one over to Barlow. Back to Griffin. Half intercepted in the end. It was good for McDonald. Held them up for the moment. But the Dockers will work it to the wing.
They did that pretty well in the end of the mark taken in the middle of the ground by Broughton. He got it quickly to Mundy. Long one down towards Pavlich, who had to spoil it. Falls for Ballantyne. Brilliant tackle. Bale got him holding the ball. Gee, that was good.
Okay, play on. Great signs from Melbourne when you've got that sort of intensity. Hayden Ballantyne's a really dangerous forward option for Fremantle. Good result.
Garland short to Grimes. Wonderful tackle by Bale. That's Hayden Ballantyne's bread and butter. That kick not so good. Inside or outside? Out of bounds on the full.
Fantastic tackle. These are game-winning tackles when you do that.
Ballantyne might get a second attempt here. This time a push against James Frawley. One hand in the back. Umpire Jeff Dalgleish saying, and Hayden Ballantyne gets a set shot at it.
He's the X factor, isn't he, Ballantyne? If he's on, he's on. If he's not, he's probably got to be moved. And it's a difficult position to play, but he's quite capable of kicking these type of goals, though.
He's kicked 10 goals, 8 so far this season. Of course, twice out with suspension. Missed a total of 5 weeks. Last year, 23 goals, 19. And at the 9-minute mark of the opening term, Fremantle need a goal. Ballantyne's kick on its way. He's in the leadership group and he's in there for a reason. That's a leader's goal. So we had an opportunity earlier, and Ross Lyon watching on, I'm sure, happy to get that first goal on the board. They looked pretty lethargic, it has to be said, Fremantle, to start the game. Matthew Pavlich involved early. He's been involved in 45% of their scores this season. Such an important player, as is that man.
Good response here from Hayden Ballantyne. The free kick there from Frawley just over the shoulder, went back and kicked the goal. Really important after really missing a great opportunity from the tackle from Bale.
So the antagonist gets the first for the Dockers, the player you'd love to have on your side, and opposition fans and players find him pretty annoying. Does well for the Dockers, and the Demons go well out of the middle again, this time to Trengo. Look for the handball, Miss Couch, who is running past, desperate in the end from Duffield. They might just work it out here, the Demons. Back to the first goal scorer in Martin. Quickly through to Howe. Little handball over the top, not great. Main around the place, Mackenzie too, free kick. It's going the way of the Demons. They play on to Jones, quickly inside 50. The lead is on, the kick is perfect. And they can go back and kick their fourth through Pettit. So Ricky Pettit, who's in this week, can kick his first in a long time.
He's an interesting player, Pettit. He's a sort of player that can actually stand on your head. He can kick the miraculous goal. He's been in and out of the side since that illness, so it makes you wonder whether it's taken a fair bit out of him. But you'd love to see him back in full action. He's a very talented player.
So Ricky Pettit kicks and it just drifts late. So the first blemish for the Demons, 3-1-19. Kirky.
We're seeing Dockers at the moment get really beaten on the spread. It's 26-8 uncontested ball. I think the speed of around outside of the packs, Melbourne's troubling Fremantle.
Mundy kicks in, Bradley the target. A little bit too much height for Trengove, and he marked that one cleverly. Not a lot to go to, so the long option it is, a long flat one. Pavlich flies high, couldn't mark. Broughton at the back to Hill, breathtaking. Here he goes, one bounce, has a second, inside 50 now, a third bounce. He can have one more, make it 4, waltzes in and kicks. A great team goal for Fremantle. Well done, Stephen Hill. Well, Matthew Pavlich gets a lot of the credit for that goal as well. He was caught out of the contest, but still, as the captain so often does for this Fremantle Dockers team, he created a contest. That brought the ball to ground. Broughton took it away, and with Stephen Hill cruising by, it's just about put it down in the book. Freo have got their second.
This is his second possession, and it's a great goal. There's no question about that. Off the ball, you can see Mackenzie actually got blocked and couldn't get to him. Mackenzie's had a fantastic result on him, but once the ball's spread, Hill's going to murder you, and that's a clear case of it.
So the Demons the first 3, the Dockers the last 2. Jones underneath it all quickly to Jamar, half smothered off the boot, trickles inside 50. Too hot for bait. The Dockers have got numbers around the place. Spur, they combine. Ibbotson, they can run it out. They've got a man with a heap of pace, takes a bounce. May even a second. No, now long ball inside 50. Over the top of Michael Walters' head and into the arms of Spud Frawley. Quickly they play on. Well, Bennell does okay in the end, just breaks the tackle and clears out. Bit of dash off half-back. Beautiful ball to Sylvia. He plays on the left boot. Well, Martin was set a task in the end. All too easy for the Dockers.
Disappointing result there from Melbourne. Really just needed to sum that situation up a lot better, Cole Sylvia. He's been in good form, but that was just a blind kick inside forward 50.
Duffield swings it wide to Crowley, then back to the late inclusion. Spur in the middle of the ground. That's a good kick, and Robertson marks. They might be away here again, Fremantle. Mzungu going back with a flight. A little bit too easy that time. A lot of space. Could have been Ballantyne coming forward, but in the end, Mzungu going back against Howe in best position. He marked, and some concerns now for that man.
Well, just a turnover from Cole Sylvia. As I said, he's been in fantastic form in the last month in particular, but to kick the ball away like that, Nick's just not good enough.
I think he was looking for someone who had a few more trams and trains up on that forward line there. Martin got right under the ball, didn't he?
0 goals, 3 for Tendai Mzungu this season. Make it 1 goal, 3 Fremantle have got it back on level terms. So costly the turnover, and Tendai Mzungu, it's his 6th goal of the season. And his first goal against Melbourne. Line a bit happier now.
It's the turnovers that have really hurt the Demons this year, especially by foot. On the turnover, Dockers get it. Great use of the ball through the corridor. Great finish by Mzungu.
So 3-1 apiece. Early going. First 3 to the D's. Last 3 to the Dockers. Sylvia again, this time to the same sort of spot. Bates around the fall of the ball. Green 2, quick hands. Maybe to Bale. Bale, can he kick the goal? He's offline as well.
Frenetic pace at the moment. Both sides really attacking well, spreading well. Melbourne haven't typically been able to get their spread, but they look dangerous when they can get the ball out in space.
Ibbotson went short to McFarlane, and now Ryan Crowley, who's having a terrific year. He was just about gone last season under Mark Harvey, but one of the first players mentioned by new coach Ross Lyon when he arrived in the West was Ryan Crowley. He wanted to resurrect his career, and indeed he's done that. Spur went to midfield, and Bradley's kick is good for McPhee. So they've moved it out wide. Now Ballantyne's got some space. He didn't hold the mark. Nicholson right there applies a good tackle. Well done by the umpire. Let it go. He fired it out the back. Still got the footy here now through Rivers. Well done, Melbourne. They forced the turnover, although Ballantyne obviously should have marked that footy. Roberton gets it fisted back his way. Bradley back to Ibbotson with a clearing kick. It's not a good one, and a wonderful mark taken by the co-captain and Jack Grimes.
Strong mark, wasn't it? Over the top he goes. Finds his man is a welcome inclusion in Ricky Pettard and to McDonald. The older of McDonald's, Tom, one of the 6 ins today after an injury a few weeks ago, and Garland now. He's spent some time forward in recent weeks, kicks to the wing. Howe finds him. Slipping on the synthetic grass and then kicking into Johnson, and Johnson recovery good to Mundy. They can hurt here. Dockers alone in the middle. Kick not so good. McDonald again, little one, this time to McKenzie. McKenzie to half forward. This time they found their target in Martin. Little ball. It's okay for Trengove. Couldn't complete the transaction, and again the Dockers bring it away. Intercepted. A chance for Barlow to crash it to the wing. Does. Bradley gets tackled, taken high. Umpire lets it roll. He tries to get it away. Umpire will bounce.
A lot of mistakes, just small mistakes, just not quite hitting that target. Trengove dropped the mark, but it was an awkward kick that come into him, and there's been a lot of just missing, and that's, if they can clean it up, a side will get a definite break on this game.
There's Couch with a clean kick out of the pack. It's fallen Martin's way. Now Bale with an opportunity. Tried to fire the handball across to Blease. Didn't hit the target. Disappointing. Johnson not sure about that handball. Back to Blease, if you don't mind. Around the body. Yes, Blease. Had a couple of goes at it, and in the end it fell his way and fell the Demons' way, and credit to the youngster Tommy Couch. Well, he's not that young, is he? 24, not that young in football age, but playing his first game. He cleared the pack, got it out of the congestion, and the result, a Melbourne goal, 4-2, 3-1. Melbourne by 7 points.
He's a player it's intriguing, Blues. He's one that will kick those miraculous goals, but just doesn't seem to have enough in the tank to get through full matches. And I think that's what Melbourne are a little bit worried about, that if he can get the 4 quarters in, he's going to be a wonderful player for them.
And another one of those players that's broken their leg, joining Michael Barlow and Strauss. He's recovered. He was pretty good last week and kicked a wonderful goal on the left. And he's done it again. And on the back of last night, holding arms and doing different things, it's catching on. It's in vogue.
Yeah, just not too, at least did he ever twist on that? I'm not too sure.
Just holding. Looked okay, didn't it? Barlow, third man up, knocks it down to Mundy. Mundy decides to kick long ball. Main, Pavlich and 3 Demons. Main front spot, off hands. Pav just holds his ground, does pretty well, can't quite control it. Jones, for the ball. He's wrapped up by Broughton, but didn't have the football. Coming and giving a bit of support. Blees, handball away, ends up with Mundy. Pav overran it. Blees goes and wins it again, gets tackled by a couple of white jumpers and gets caught.
Down, no attempt. Yours.
Stiff there, Melbourne. They really boxed on pretty well. Created an outnumber across half-back.
Main, the long ball. Bradley, well done, McDonald at the back, got a fist onto it, brought it to ground, but again, it's all the Dockers, and Walters just puts it across the face.
It was a classical case of back pocket rolling off his man, and Ballantyne was left 3 yards clear of that pack because the Melbourne boy thought he was going to fall the back. Very lucky to get away with it.
Frawley with a kick in, then out wide. He finds Grimes, who gathers the touch of green in the boots, and that's a lovely delivery, and the mark taken by Matthew Bate just backward of the wing. Back inside to Nicholson now.
They've got one-on-ones basically in their front half, Melbourne. Just need to be kicking the ball forward. Cole Sylvia's getting frustrated going across the lines, across half forward. Love them to come in a bit faster.
Spot on, Tommy, because when they go sideways, there's no option.
Yep.
They go option and they stop and have to regenerate. There's no thought of the chest that's got to be played.
Blees, who kicked the last goal to Bate, then a long one towards the 50. Sylvia almost got his handball away to Jones. Now to Couch, alive wide, trying his hardest. Geordie McKenzie got a little kick away. Gathered there at the back by McPhee. His handball not particularly clean. Bate gets a kick forward. McFarlane taken high.
Advantage.
The advantage is paid, so Mundy's kick out in the direction of Hill. And Hill pushed off that one pretty easily by Howe. The kick coming back inside for Burnell. He couldn't control the half volley. It was a difficult one. And now the football ends up at the back with Duffield. A little handball away and the kick towards half back. It's Johnson's kick, and that's a good mark taken by Garland.
That's what Hill needs to do. He needs to take his opponent McKenzie out into space and really use his speed to his advantage.
Garland now, a long ball, no one at home other than Dockers, and again it falls down for the Demons inside 50. Duffield just plucks it and sets the Dockers alight to McFarlane. Now to Spur, and to the outer side they go to McPhee, who's got a heap of space. He can come in short to Bradley. Bradley then just sets sail for the wing. De Boer's there too with Ballantyne, and now Pearce is on the lead, and that's the direction he goes. Quickly, down the line again, Bradley made a lot of space up, hard up against the boundary line. Pavlich inside 50 with Walters. It won't quite get to that pack, so Pavlich approaches the drop of the ball, spills to Walters, back inside with the handball. Couldn't quite control it, crashing through Mzungu. Loose ball now, Frawley, quick flick to McDonald. And then a skipper in Trengove. There's nothing really forward of the ball, so sideways he goes, misses his target. Dan Nicholson does well, just buys some time over the top, and Martin should mark on the wing for the D's.
He got it from Blees, and now 50.
I think you'll find that Hill has now got a second opponent in Howe. I think McKenzie's been dropped off him. Mark Neal would have understood that pace early on in the game was just probably a bit too hot, Hill with McKenzie.
Gee, hardly anything in that at all. Player was committed, but I guess, Tom, they're there.
They brush over the shoulder, Baz.
50, Tommy, or not? Don't sit on the fence.
By the letter of the law, it's 50.
So Martin then shooting for Melbourne's 5th goal of the opening term from about 35. From the moment it left the boot, he had the fist clenched. The Demons lead it by 2 goals. As we've seen across this weekend's football already, on Friday night and again here on Saturday afternoon, the 50-metre penalty, it's such a game changer. It certainly can alter the course of a passage of play. What is a contested ball at midfield can end up at a goal at the other end. And again, we've seen that, and the Demons have steadied a little here.
Just see the Trengove injury here. He's actually come off the field, stayed down for long, nothing in it. And the reaction from Stephen Martin off the 50-metre penalty. They are a serious penalty when the free kick's in the middle of the ground to result in a goal like that.
Wasn't contestable.
He's very lively, Martin, isn't he? He's got a bit of confidence about him at the moment. He's a good athlete, very good athlete. The word is that he doesn't quite think about the game enough.
Interesting you mentioned before, Tommy, he was a late starter. His first footy memories when he debuted in the amateurs for Haileybury. Extraordinary. Playing AFL football a few years later.
That's his first memory of the game.
Well, he never played. He's just played... Oh, yeah,
I think that'd be about right too, Hamish, the way he plays. I think it's his first memory.
De Boer, quickly he goes inside 50. Walters on a hard lead, and he's found with a beautiful kick.
Right on it there. Play on, you went around.
Puts it to sort of Pavlich territory, but a heap of demons, and in the end a strong mark from McDonald.
Good body shape, Walters, now. You know, it's good to see him get back in the side after such a traumatic start to his career with Crossline coaching. Well, not start to his season, but certainly start to this year.
Yeah, well, in January, Rossline said, go back to Swan Districts, lose some weight, you're 5 or 6 mils over on the skin fold, and it's unacceptable. So he went back, lost the weight, got fit, and here he is.
Yep, you got it now.
You've got to have uncompromising standards like that at a footy club if you're going to succeed ultimately.
Absolutely.
Play on.
So chance for the Dockers again. Demons flood back. Main, Pavlich, as always, the targets, but Jones will end up with it for the Demons. Just stream through the back line, and it's a poor kick in the end. Absolutely no one but Hayden Ballantyne there. He squeezes the kick inside, almost turns it over again. Barlow goes and puts his head over the football. Jones, McKenzie, McDonald, Ricky Pettard taken by Hill. Ball spills. Here's a chance. Broughton, Hill, just got to measure things up. Got often on the right boot, and he misses his target again, and McDonald will again relieve for the Demons. This time the kick, well, it was intended for Rivers. Johnson went back, did well. The Demons, they'll push it forward, they'll hack it forward. Howlett sit for Sylvia, bouncing ball, okay, over the top to Bale. If he's quick, well, Jamie Bennell was there. The tackle, though, was terrific from Spur, and he held him up and saved the certainty.
Great decision by Spur to come off his opponent, Bennell, there. He took the chance, made the tackle, great tackle.
Starting well, Melbourne, they've got a real reluctance to use the corridor. Don't even look inside. They play the boundary every time. So I think a quick glance, there might be some uncontested ball for the D's. Mix it up.
Ibbotson hacks it forward out of the pack towards Broughton, who just got enough on it over the line. Interesting that the boundary umpire, the field umpire rather, threw it up there, so the turf a little bit softer in that right forward pocket.
Well, we haven't had a lot of stoppages, though, on the same token, so there've been other manufacturers keep that ball inside, both sides.
And this is only boundary throw-in number 4 for the quarter. We've only got 2.5 minutes remaining in this opening term. There's Couch again, busy. Barlow close to the line, hugs it, back to Couch, paid the mark, didn't look like 15, doesn't matter. The first gamer thumps it down towards full forward. It might spill their way. Bale, good tackle at the back. Ibbotson, he got it to Green, now to McDonald. They can set it up to Sylvia, who throws it on the boot, measures the kick. Wonderful accuracy. Melbourne lead by 3 goals. So Ross Lyon, after moments of happiness when the scores got back on equal terms, not as pleased with what's happened in the last 5 or 10 minutes of this term, and really good setup there from Melbourne. They were under pressure from the Fremantle defence, but they worked it through some sets of hands, almost like a basketball team firing it around the offence to the open man.
Yeah, good use of the ball here by Melbourne. They didn't waste the ball. Sylvia, it's great to see him back. He's had a pretty rough trot, I reckon. Last year, early in the season, he broke his jaw and spent some time really in the seconds, but he's been very good, very hard player to match up with, so it's terrific for him.
Well, wonderful opening term for the Demons. They might just add to it here. No. It's their highest opening term of the year. It was previously 6-1 against the Giants, and for the Dockers, the second biggest total kicks against them in a quarter. The Hawks, the only side to kick more, so an outstanding opening on Saturday Arvo football for the D's. 6-2-38, 3-2-20, a 3-goal lead. We've still got just under 2 minutes to play in the opening term. Martin, he's been terrific so far, does the ruck work against Bradley. Mundy crashes it inside 50, ugly sort of a ball in the end. McDonald, he benefited from it, gave it off to Nicholson. Back he goes to the other McDonald, wide to McKenzie. And now Dan Nicholson just draws the player, goes inside, gets it again. And they're putting Jack Grimes, their skipper, under pressure. Duffield just holds him up for the moment. They started to look a bit dangerous. They might get hurt on the rebound here. Mzungu puts it in Pav's direction. In the end, Frawley, he did well, got a fist onto it. And again, they can get out of trouble, the Demons. Around the corner to Sylvia. Bounce was hot, but he did okay. The second play was clever to Green, and the Demons
Advantage.
will go on to advantage. A late call, but to half forward they go. Push out. There was.
An injury concern down here. Chris Mayne, I saw him stretching his calf out in the ground. He's come off. He's getting some tape around it now. Hopefully it's not too much of a concern for Fremantle.
Good on you, Kirky. Keep an eye on it. Mick, you didn't like that last decision?
No, I didn't, because the Melbourne player did everything right. He just moved in with his body, tried to hold his ground. I think he was very fortunate for Fremantle very fortunate to come away with that free kick. Ticky touchwood stuff you've got to get rid of. This is a man's game. Play it the way it should be. Don't reward nothing.
Long down towards full forward. McFarlane did well at the back to get a hand on it. It was almost Rivers. Now the ball close to the line. Swung around the body by Bale. It's just to behind, and all of that because of the Duffield out of bounds on the full. And we know about Fremantle's skill deficiency at times. They've tightened up in that area, but again, the coach won't be happy with that kick from Duffield, really under no pressure as Spur gets a go at it.
To the outer side, Mzungu, Grimes, he forces the issue, brings it to ground, gets a bit of assistance, and maybe one late. They need to take a mark here. Bennell, front spot, another score, but that is all there'll be in the first term. A terrific opening term for the Demons. Their highest opening term of the year. 6-4-40. They lead the Dockers, who need to win to stay in touch with the 8. 3-2-20 by 20 points.